What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel.
So as you guys know, or may not know, we recently purchased a 2020 Shelby GT500.
And ever since we posted our first video with this car, we've been getting some questions about what we plan to do with this GT500. So that's what we're going to be talking about today.
But first, we gotta get it washed. Yeah, can I get the Super for $7, please?
Please have payment for your selection.
So it probably comes to no surprise that I've always liked fast cars, and like is an understatement. I love fast cars, and for the past 6 years, my daily driver was a Ford Focus ST, which was a churched-up Focus. It was very quick, and I loved it. Unfortunately, I got into an accident, and it was totaled. I got the Ford Ranger, and the Ranger is everything I wanted and more out of a daily driver, except any amount of speed or power.
Now, I personally like the Ranger more than the Focus ST, but it is lacking a bit in the speed department.
Now, even though I got an amazing deal on the Ford Ranger, I only paid $2,700 for that truck. I knew almost immediately this was not going to be my permanent solution for a new vehicle. I really missed having a fun car. Gotta dry it off somehow.
Even before the Focus ST was totaled, there was always the plan and the idea for HP to get a faster, fun car.
Now, when the Focus ST eventually met its demise back in July of 2021, my search really narrowed fast because I wanted to make sure I was getting a new car very soon, now that I had no fun car whatsoever, short of the little Ranger. Now, we were not even looking at Mustangs, let alone a Shelby GT500. Our eyes were actually set on a supercar, more specifically, a Lamborghini. So this was supposed to be the part where we do a really cool drive through the tunnel going really fast with the windows down so we can hear the car, but Dallas had other plans. Guess this little bridge will have to do.
That was anticlimactic. HP and I had come to the conclusion that we were most likely going to buy a 2009 to 2014 Lamborghini Gallardo. We did our research for an entire year trying to figure out which car we wanted, how much we should expect to pay, what types of things we should look out for when buying the car, and even got so far as to us finding the exact car we wanted in Austin that we were really seriously looking to pick up.
But I wasn't approved for financing. But you have to admit, this looks a lot better than a stinky old Lamborghini Gallardo.
I don't know. I still think a Lamborghini Gallardo looks better.
Rude. Hey, look, a croc.
Gross. Now, whenever we started trying to arrange the financing for the Lamborghini, we knew that it was going to be an uphill battle, and we knew there was a solid chance that we probably weren't going to get approved. The reason is because though we do make enough money to qualify and our credit scores are really, really good, the big issue was the fact that number one, we're self-employed, which always makes it difficult whenever it comes to loans and financing, and number two, we didn't have a similar credit history.
Now, Aubrey's car's been paid off for like, what, 20 years?
Probably.
And the largest loan that I've had before, the Focus was, I guess, the Maserati, which is like $30,000. So yeah, never really had a similar loan at all.
So because of this, we were seen as a riskier borrower to the bank, and as a result, we couldn't get approved for the Lamborghini.
And then Aubrey brought up the question, Well, what is a car that I find really attractive and fun to drive, but that doesn't cost as much as a 12-year-old Lamborghini? And that's when I decided GT500. Now, ultimately, I wanted to get this car in particular when Aubrey asked that question because look at it. It's a very sharp and aggressive looking car. I wanted a car that made a statement, but at the same time had the performance to back it up. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe very strongly that the Lamborghini is a very capable car, but not as capable as this Shelby GT500. It has 760 horsepower, so it has way more horsepower, and it's very capable around the track as well than what essentially would just be a base model Lamborghini. Now, it's not a Lamborghini by any means, but the interior, the exterior, everything just flows and it matches well. I had a lot of options on the table for something in this same price range, looking at either Corvettes, or I even think an Aston Martin was on the table at some point, but this car really stuck out. I'm a die-hard Ford guy through and through, and unfortunately, this next best thing to an exotic supercar is a Super Snake.
Now, like we mentioned earlier in the video, we've known for a long time that HP was going to get a nicer, faster, more fun car. And we've also known this entire time that whatever car that was going to be was not going to be listed on the Turo platform.
It's something I preach to a lot of my friends that end up here, like diehard car people. I always tell them, cut your emotional ties with whatever vehicle you're going to put on the platform. And it's something we also tell a lot of our own subscribers and everyone else that's looking to get into Turo, because the second you don't, it's going to be a disaster whenever you do put that car on there and the car starts getting abused, it starts getting scratches in the paint, or it just gets, not really well taken care of.
And the thing is too, aside from damage and cutting emotional ties, I've never been a fan of renting out a personal car on Turo. The reason is that logistically it's difficult. You of course get emotionally attached. You also have to worry about figuring out, okay, when's this car getting rented out? When do I want to drive it? How am I gonna kind of work out this schedule? I just feel like you should either have a car that's on Turo or have a car that you use for personal use, or it could be something like the Maserati where you enjoy it when it's not getting rented out, but it's definitely not a personal car. And at the end of the day, this GT500 is definitely a personal car. So at the end of the day, this car is not going on Turo. It's never going on Turo. It is HP's car and HP's car only.
And instead of making money off this GT500, we're gonna make our money the old-fashioned way on Turo with a bunch of Yaris's. But guys, as always, be sure to hit this like button, hit the subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And we'll see you on the next episode.